For the past 46 years, one question has defined global economics: who has the world's biggest economy, and who is catching up? The answer has shifted dramatically. Let's go back to 1980. The United States dominated with a GDP of $2.9 trillion. Japan was second at $1.1 trillion, followed by Germany and France. China had just $300 billion, barely a rounding error on the global stage. India was even smaller. The Cold War was still being fought, and the Soviet Union's economy was a significant but opaque force. The 1980s belonged to Japan. Its economy was booming. Cars, electronics, semiconductors, Japanese companies were dominating global markets. By 1995, Japan had reached $5.5 trillion, almost closing the gap with the United States. American economists were genuinely worried. Books were being written about Japan taking over the global economy. Then Japan stagnated. The property bubble burst in 1991. Growth slowed to near zero for a decade, the so-called lost decade. Japan never recovered its relative position. By 2000, the United States had opened a massive lead. The dot-com boom had launched American GDP past $10 trillion. Japan was stuck. Germany, the UK, and France settled into steady but unspectacular growth. And then China happened. In 1990, China was barely in the conversation. But after Deng Xiaoping's reforms, it grew at 8, 9, even 10% a year, year after year after year. Factories were built at a pace the world had never seen. Hundreds of millions of people moved from villages to cities. By 2005, China had $2.3 trillion in GDP. By 2010, it had surpassed Japan to become the world's second-largest economy. The question was no longer if China would catch America, but when. The 2008 global financial crisis hit the United States and Europe hard. China barely flinched and kept growing. By 2015, China's GDP was $11.3 trillion, more than double Japan's. The gap with America was narrowing. In 2020, COVID-19 struck every economy. The US and most of the world contracted sharply. China was the only major economy that grew in 2020, reaching $15.1 trillion. Its share of global GDP hit record highs. But the story of the 2020s has a new chapter: India. For decades, India was seen as a country of potential. By 2022, it had passed the UK to become the world's fifth-largest economy. In 2025, India overtook Japan to claim fourth place with $4.3 trillion in GDP, a milestone that stunned many observers. India is now the fastest-growing major economy in the world. By 2026, the rankings stand at United States at $32.4 trillion, still number one, but with China at $20.9 trillion and closing. Germany holds third at $5.45 trillion, just ahead of a near tie between Japan, the UK, and India between $4.1 and $4.4 trillion. The most extraordinary story remains China. From $300 billion in 1980 to nearly $21 trillion in 2026, a 70-fold increase in 46 years. No country in history has grown its economy this fast at this scale. Can China overtake the United States in nominal terms? Most economists say yes, but not for at least another decade, and possibly not at all if growth continues to slow. The GDP race is the race that shapes everything: trade, power, technology, military. And it has never been more exciting to watch.